Speaking of game over, another game that is finished is the game Rustam Kasimdzhanov against Vladimir Kramnik.
And what a result!
What a
Vladimir
game.
Kramnik
Hi guys.
has lost. And who have we got in the studio?
It's the winner of the game, Rustam Kasimdzhanov himself.
Hello,
Welcome.
Rustam.
Hi guys.
How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Probably not as well as you, right? You're probably feeling better than anyone right now.
Yeah. No, I feel like I got lucky. I got a lucky break. I mean, to win a couple of games in a row against these people is unbelievable.
What are you on? Are you on full points or are you on 4.5 out of 5?
I think I'm on 4 out of 5.
2 draws.
2 draws. Yeah.
2 draws and crushing Kramnik and crushing
Ivanchuk, Naidic.
I wouldn't say
Naidic.
crashing, but I did win these games. Yes.
It looked like a very convincing performance today, Rustam.
I think we can go through the
Let's
game.
go
We
through the
haven't
game,
looked
yeah.
at it for a while. And with Carlsen making the time control, even the Norwegians will forgive us for taking our eyes off it for a second. Rustam, talk us through it. What happened? You're white.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, this knight bd7 came as a complete surprise to me. I thought, okay, bishop e7 and we'll have some normal queen's gambit declined. And after knight bd7, luckily I checked this recently a little bit, so I knew some first moves. So I played bishop f4, dc e3, and here the trick is black usually goes a6, a4, bishop d6. Right. But Kramnik is known for introducing his own small refinements. So for some reason he played bishop d6 first. But since I took, I think it doesn't make much of a difference. Maybe for some other lines, maybe bishop g5, knight b6 makes a difference. Mm-hmm. But bishop d6 takes bishop c4, a6. Clearly, he was just transposing into the line. This is, incidentally, this is Gelfand Carlsen, I think.
It's a nice position for a team match, isn't it? You're slightly better, not a lot of risk.
Yeah, no, yeah, as chance would have it, I looked at this recently, but not in great detail. But surprisingly, some small details which I remembered, they actually came in the game.
If you say not in great detail, how many days did you spend in this very position?
No, but this was really nothing, like half a day maybe at most, yeah.
I don't think I've ever spent half a day on an opening, let alone
like your whole
my whole chess
Sicilian
career.
Grand Prix attack you spent half a day on, right? Anyway.
But I think d5, bishop d3, b6, this is correct, because otherwise maybe white goes d5 himself. Right. And then castles were actually following the game, queen b3. This is what I remember, that I liked my queen on b3 better than on e2. On e2, it kind of put pressure on the pawn on a6, but there is not much else to do on e2. I like the fact that on b3, I'm actually pinning down the knight to d7. So queen e7 was played. Maybe Kramnik was worried about queen a3 at some point, so played this first. Rook c1, bishop b7, rook c2. I think this is still the game. Rook c2, rook f c8, rook c1, and here, if I'm not mistaken, my analysis, I thought black should go something like rook a b8, something quiet and just wait.
The point is then if you go knight e5,
then black takes and goes knight d7, and then f6 on knight c5. So I think after queen d6, I actually remember seeing this position at home.
Wow.
Computer suddenly said knight e5 much better for white.
Wow.
So this is one of those cases where queen d6 visually directed against knight e5 kind of invites knight e5.
You understand, you're kind of ruining Lawrence's world here, because he talks about inspiration over the board and free-flowing ideas. It's all preparation. People work on their chess.
Well, it's preparation up till here, yeah? I mean, later
the
I had
rest
to
as well.
So knight e5 takes, but I was actually, first of all, black doesn't have to take, but then he's probably slightly worse after f4. I thought this was kind of the point. So if black, I mean, can go anything, rook b8, h6, g6, but then f4, I think white is pressing a little bit. And knight e5, Kramnik played this very confidently. Queen takes b6. I actually thought black's position is not very good here. But rook cb8, it actually soon became...
If he takes the other rook...
Then I think I play knight e4 or something like this.
Some tricks.
And the point is that I'm not mating on the back rank, but I am actually liquidating into some much better endings.
Just in the line I'm showing, you are actually mating, just to make it clear some problems. So you had to go rook cb8, and here we were very optimistic about your position because these rooks, they looked a bit passive, right?
Yeah, but I thought also it's easy for me to go wrong, yeah, because I don't have any central grip. So I was actually not sure. I played knight e2, it looked like a natural move to me. He played knight d7, and here I played queen d4. I was actually wondering maybe I should have gone queen c7, but I'm not sure. Maybe this is easier, and then takes, and bishop b1, maybe better for white, slightly. Because I actually want to exchange queens.
We know you well enough.
But actually after queen d4, queen d6 came as a complete shock to me. For some reason I thought he was forced to take. And then I expected to jump with my knight to d4, and then b3, a5, and...
Now we were discussing if you were planning e takes d or knight takes d4. Knight takes, eh?
Yeah, I was planning to jump, yeah.
With e5, knight f5, I think we looked at this. Looked very nice for
Yeah,
white.
it looked nice. Yeah, it looked nice indeed. Yeah, but after queen d6, suddenly I have to make some difficult choices. I thought e5 is coming, so I played f4, but it was a difficult decision for me because I realized I'm also creating weaknesses in my position. So I think he has to go e5, or that's what I thought at least, to get some play, and then takes. And now it becomes very concrete. Queen f4, I think I'm lucky to have this move. Because otherwise I thought like knight f4, knight takes d3, and then bishop c8. He's at least finishing his development. And I think once a guy like Kramnik finishes his development, there is no way I can beat him.
So you didn't allow him to queen
so
f4.
I thought queen f4, I am at least trying to be tough. Pinning this knight, threatening rook c7, and yeah.
This
now
next sequence, that was very surprising that he allowed rook c7 and went back with the queen to e8. The trusted computer friends gave rook c8 here. Could he have done that?
Yeah, I thought rook c8 and then some knight d4. I thought I would be a little bit better.
Right.
But maybe I'm just wrong. Yeah? But I thought this is something I am trying to achieve. Queen e7 did not surprise me. I was also looking at this surprisingly because this is very concrete. Rook c7, queen e8, and he wants to just go knight c4 next move and start picking up some pawns. And for a while I was confused. I played bishop f5, knight c4. Yeah, my idea was also to go rook 1 c3, but this is I think too little.
Our little helper spit out the move e4. I'm not sure if in this position or somewhere around here as well.
I saw e4, but it looked messy to me.
To lose, yeah?
Yeah, but I thought rook 1 c3 was a decent try. But then I thought bishop c8, this might be too little. Takes everything. And then b3. b3, knight d2. And I thought like queen e5, I'll probably win a pawn somehow, but then he gets a lot of play with his knight on
nice
e4.
move, though, queen e5.
Yeah. Gets a lot. His knight is annoying, isn't it?
No, his knight is annoying. I have these weaknesses on b3 and e3. So I started to look for something more convincing, so I returned to my original plan, which was a combination of moves.
This looks like a great move, bishop d7.
Yeah, I was considering knight d4. I thought this is essentially transposition. But here it took me a while to realize that after queen e3, queen e3, knight e3, knight d4.
Dead, isn't it?
Yeah, the point is that I'm threatening b3, this I saw, catching the knight. But that I'm threatening knight c6, it took me a while to realize.
Oh, and you win the rook.
I actually win the whole queen side,
yeah.
So I thought if nothing at g6 then b3 is probably just domination.
Yeah,
and
that's fantastic.
Yeah, even if knight c4 instead, then I think I do win with knight c6.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We should point out as well, rook c8, take, bishop a8 and bishop d5.
Sorry.
That rook c8 here. Take
Well, I can bishop a8 and bishop takes
that's
d5.
what I'm saying, yeah. Just to illustrate that point. Bishop d5. Lovely little pin.
Yeah.
So what happened? He played king f8.
You played queen f8?
Queen f8, rather.
Yeah, but this is basically, well, I mean, it's resignation of sorts, because now it's clear that, okay, everything he was doing was just wrong, if he cannot take on e3. I was not sure how exactly to play it, but I thought keep it simple, b3 cannot be wrong.
Knight b6.
And then knight b6. Here I actually saw this trick with bishop f5 and rook takes f7. So
Oh, stunning finish.
so I played bishop f5 because I thought, okay, he would probably go d4 because this is the kind of move you play in a desperate position. Now the thing is, if he goes g6 here, then I thought I can just play knight d4.
Ah,
And I was very happy about my position here.
yeah.
And I thought gf knight f5 should be just made.
That's just mate, isn't it? Fantastic. Look
The
at
lesson we learn is don't put all your pieces in the corner on the queen side unless you really, really have to.
Brilliant.
But let's look at the finish. Bishop
The
f5,
finish is
d4,
spectacular.
rook f7.
Boom.
I still don't get it.
I bet that gave you pleasure playing that.
That
move.
gave me
You-
pleasure,
you
yeah.
Admit that the service moves that people like and they just don't appreciate. the,
But this is a bit like Botvinnik
I do
Kotić.
appreciate the novelty of move 14.
Yes.
16.
By the way, the thing is that I think Magnus also played queen d6, allowing knight e5.
Okay.
And this surprised me a little bit, yeah, because it's imprecise. So it's possible that Kramnik was just following this game. At least maybe subconsciously he remembered that somehow queen d6 was in this position.
Right.
And this rook f7 is exactly
Fantastic.
like Botvinnik Kotić, yeah? I mean, the rook gets to c7 and then starts taking pawns on f7.
so if queen
Let's briefly
takes,
show. Queen
Yeah.
f7.
Then I thought check and check on d6.
yeah, and check, and that's disaster. Queen e7
And rook f1 and bishop
Check.
g6, yeah.
and bishop g6 is game over. Beautiful. And what he did in the game, king takes f7, bishop takes h7, just taking away that square on g8. That's
Yes, it's basically just forced mate because I'm just checking bishop g6. For instance, king e8, bishop g6,
king,
and now king e7, queen e5 check,
queen e5,
and king d8, queen c7.
mate.
Yeah. I mean, he can try other squares, but anyway, I
You
will go
just
to c7 to g6, and that's
Combination of
mate.
those
Yeah.
moves.
Wow, what a win!
Beautiful.
So that means that Uzbekistan are doing all right. I believe Anton Filipov did
He
lose.
lost to Grishuk.
He lost quite quickly. What happened there?
It's
Again,
like a
it's-
similar final position than
It's the same
As your game,
queen and
actually.
bishop working together.
yeah.
also a rook sacrifice. Rook takes g6.
Wow. That's mate.
Yeah, but I have no idea how we're doing on the last two boards.
Let's
You
have a
were
look.
doing very well on the third board for a while. Let's have a look.
Oh, he's bungled it.
Still better, but maybe
He was
not so
totally
easy
winning.
anymore.
He was totally
We saw it
winning.
around here, where white is just a pawn up with a great position, basically.
Yeah, but it's so difficult to finish off the guy like Svidler, yeah? And he starts playing h5 and jumping around, yeah?
Yeah, but I mean, even around here, if we go bc3, rook a6, carry on a few moves here, I'll show you how after f6, queen h4, f6. Okay. f6. It was around here. Yeah, he can just play h3. I did
He
that.
did.
95. Queen f4 he played. Okay, knight f7. And now, yeah. I mean,
Bishop
do
c5
very
just
well.
picks
This
up
was
the
the
material.
finish.
no,
Finishing
it's,
touch,
it's
man,
not.
yeah.
It's not that tough. Bishop c5.
Yeah, I mean, you really should have seen this.
No, I mean this is good. This isn't.
Yeah,
this isn't
this is
slightly better, is
Not
it?
out of this world.
And we are losing on board 4, yeah, I imagine.
You were in trouble on
Let's
board
have a
4.
Let's just have a
Briefly
look.
have a look at this ending, if
He
it's
got-
still winning.
He got. Well, even here,
I mean, this also looks completely winning, yeah?
Absolutely.
what happens?
c2, check, king h8.
I mean, just king h2 is
H2.
such a lazy move, yeah?
It was move 40. Maybe it was
No, you
What a
should
shame.
Push
Just
this pawn immediately.
Pushkin,
Yeah.
Rook d2, obviously.
and suddenly.
Now maybe it's not so easy anymore.
No, because rook a d7 you can take on d4.
Yeah, now you should go rook d7 and rook
D7,
g6
rook
and exchange
g6.
rooks, yeah?
Not so clear if you're winning and ending like this.
Well, you can play forever. That's the good news. The bad news is.
Yeah, king
Is it
g3, it might not be winning, yeah, that's the point.
This might be a draw, h4 check, even king takes, rook g2.
Yeah, this is very likely a draw, yeah? Yeah, pity, yeah? What you gonna do?
Let's see the fourth board for a second.
No, it looks like
There you're
touchdown,
in
yeah.
trouble.
Yeah. I mean, it's one hell of a match we played, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably just not enough, yeah.
Well, you never know. Obviously, your board 3 is going to have to play forever without any risk. But yeah, it looks tough to win, right?
Yeah. No, it's still amazing that we put so much fight.
Absolutely.
Tell us.
The Uzbek team in general, a big upset in this tournament so far. You've been doing very well. What's the secret?
Yeah, I think you get lucky at right places and you fight for the rest of the points. Yeah.
Can't be that lucky though. You're winning you're leading the tournament.
Okay, our win against Ukraine, this was really lucky. I mean, this was unbelievable somehow.
The Ivanchuk loss.
The Ivanchuk loss, the Korobov loss, I mean, this stuff never
Because
should have
that
happened.
game was unbelievable, right? He just collapsed in 2
Korobov,
3
yeah.
minutes. No, Ivanchuk.
What happened
Ivanchuk,
with
yes.
Ivanchuk?
What's
Did he
happened?
miss this move rook c5? I'm sorry, dear viewers, we're just curious for a second.
Yeah, I think he just missed rook c5. At this moment when he played e4, knight takes e4, he could pick up the exchange with rook c7 and then knight c6
Yeah, we saw
later.
that, yeah.
And then he probably thought that knight c6 is another way of picking up the exchange.
Right.
So for a while he was just choosing between the two, not realizing that one of the ways
Well-
to pick up the exchange has the fatal flaw in it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's blindness though. It happens, doesn't it, in chess sometimes. It's not laziness, is it, really?
No. I mean, yeah, whatever you accuse Ivanchuk of, this is not laziness.
Mm.
Yeah. But okay, it happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you then, Rustam? Just a bit more about you personally, because a lot of people probably know, but a lot of them maybe don't know that you were once world champion, FIDE World Champion.
This was a long time ago. I recently celebrated 10 years of it.
Really, it was
Yes.
10 years, was it? And you beat a certain English person,
Yeah.
much to the chagrin of English people all over the world. But what is your?
You're saying Rustam is hated in England. Is he a villain over there because he beat
Oh
Adams
yeah,
in 2004?
yeah. The papers are still going mad
Still-
about it.
Haven't
It's on
gotten
the
over
scale of England, Germany at the football. What do you do now? You're a fully blown chess player, right? That's
Well, right now it certainly feels like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like it because I mean I never had a run like this. I mean it's a short run, but to beat Naidic, Ivanchuk, and Kramnik in successive games, just something like this never happened to me. So it certainly now feels like yeah, I'm a chess player now.
so. What do you have? What do you have ambitions-wise as a chess player now? Do you have any?
My ambitions for this tournament were to stay in 2700.
You're gaining what? 15 points, 20 points, something like
I
that.
don't know. No, I don't think 20, but maybe 12 or 13 points I'm gaining. So I do have a fair chance to stay in 2700, but let's see. Yeah.
And what about the team? The team, depending on the result today, what's a realistic target for the Uzbek?
Yeah, I don't think Uzbek team has any targets. We show up and we fight. I mean, clearly we will not win this Olympiad, yeah, and I don't think.
Who
anybody-
knows? Who knows?
No, I mean
Master of understatement, this
Who
guy.
knows? If you win it, that would be amazing, right?
that would be amazing indeed. Yeah.
One last peek at
Shall we have a
somebody.
brief look? I think Carlsen has gone back to his usual lying back position, which normally means he's in pretty good shape.
He's completely winning. Ugh.
Yeah, I actually thought he was doing not that great after the opening. Yeah.
He wasn't.
He wasn't. No.
For us, the key moment, I'm not sure, you could point out some earlier, but when he allowed h6, it seemed like black was starting to get counterplay.
Mhm.
Well, if Caruana just goes h6 himself, still better with very little risk, at least.
Yeah, no, it looks like a good move. Yeah.
That's turned around somewhere. Here, all of a sudden, maybe black's position was already easier to play, with the king coming to c6.
Yeah, but it's such a hopeless knight on d6. Yeah, knight should be on d4, not on d6.
Right.
And-
Yeah,
It
black
can't
knight is
jump
nice.
that way.
No, it doesn't.
That would be nice. A new kind of chess.
Well, he
That a
got his
knight
to
can do
d4.
the port like the checkers jump. You know, you can
How's
just
the
jump.
checkers jump?
Well, the checkers jump is actually diagonal, but imagine you could just jump over a pawn to like
Backwards.
here, backwards
Lawrence,
or forwards.
You're not making any sense. I'm sorry.
I don't. That's why. That's
That's
I
why
went-
we keep
that's
you
why
around.
we
right?
keep me around. You know, I'm a no, but
But here the knight could have jumped to d4. The problem is it would have cost this lovely pawn. So no, he's been in trouble for a while. The key trick, another key trick, just a brief summary. It was here knight to f3. And if rook takes e6, knight d4. This is what we suspect Caruana missed from afar.
yeah.
And ever since, it's a question of technique, whatever that means. But Carlsen has it.
Yeah, no, Carlsen has it. Yeah, maybe guys, you can let me go now. After-
Yes.
No, stick around for an hour, another hour or two.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us. We're
Yeah.
going to give
And
you a
check out
chess24 goodie
Rustam's
bag, which I'm
video
sure you're very
series.
happy about.
Yeah,
And
thanks
check
a lot.
out his video series on the expert
expert
strategy in the endgame.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks,
you.
Rustam. Cheers.